Ms. Paula Tavangar, the investment principal of Swissborg Ventures. Paula is a seasoned entrepreneur and renowned leader within the fintech, blockchain, and quantitative finance space. Recently, Paula joined forces with Swissborg Ventures, where she occupies a senior level role, utilizing her expertise in blockchain technologies and venture capital to lead the investment process and promote deal sourcing. Everybody, please put your hands together for Ms. Paula and a huge round of applause welcoming her.
Hello everybody, my name is Paula Tavangar and I am the principal of Swissborg Ventures. First, I want to start by thanking so much the organization for making this happen and giving us the opportunity to all be together here today. I'm going to be very brief. I know that this is probably one of the last sessions today, so I don't want to keep you, but I want to give you some very interesting insights about the Web3 VC industry. I'm going to try to make it as interesting and as short as possible. So the first thing is maybe just to take a bit of an overview of the whole Web3 industry. It grew substantially in the last few years, and organically the Web3 VC sector grew with it as well. So we talk here about massive numbers. When we go back to 2016, the VC funding in Web3 companies was only $100 million. And can you guess how much was last year? $21.5 billion. This is for 2022. And why I think this is important statistics? Because last year, as you all know, we started experiencing the beginning of the bear run, and also we had a lot of unfortunate events like FTX, etc. So this number is still pretty good. Like, it's just around 8% down from the year before, from 2021. Which basically shows you that despite everything happening in the sector in terms of volumes, in terms of size of the deals, they're still there. Then another trend that we have been noticing is the expansion of the market. Like, if before we had only blockchains, now we have decentralized apps. We have many subsectors. We have NFT, we have DeFi, we have Metaverse, and based on that trend, we also have VCs that emerged as niche VCs. This is also an important trend because it just shows how the market is growing and that there is enough space for a niche VC. For example, there are a lot of VCs investing only in Metaverse, let's say, or only in DeFi, like we in Swissborg Ventures are doing. Okay. Another interesting trend is probably the entrance of traditional VCs into the market. So, for example, we have Sequoia Capital, we have A16Z, we have massive funds that entered the market, and this is another sign that there is this institutional interest, enough volume, and the sector is growing. And something very interesting that is a bit more of my own observation, but I believe that it's really there. There is the accumulation of liquidity. So I want to go back to the accumulation of liquidity, because that's a very important concept. I have been noticing that everybody has been holding onto their funds and indeed even raising more to prepare for the next cycle. And I really believe that we're standing in front of a very active time. There are a lot of funds that raised in the last maybe less than 6 months, incredible amounts, and did not do too many investments, meaning that this cash is sitting somewhere there. Good example is Binance, which raised $500 million last year. Another one, Shima Capital, $200 million. We even had another $200 million from Hashkey Capital, which is a fund based out of Hong Kong, it's pretty big into fintech. And we have a lot of recent announcements as well. For example, the Blockchain Founders Fund announced recently a $75 million fund. And I'm not even mentioning the funds here in the UAE. I'm coming to that point later. So maybe we can next move to some interesting trends I have been seeing in the industry and what the VCs are looking at mainly. So maybe starting with zero knowledge proof. It's a very interesting trend. And maybe you would say, oh, it's not a new thing. It has been there for a while now. The zero knowledge proof started becoming more popular with the recent concerns of privacy, security, and also the many real-world usages. So it can be used in places where the privacy and security is important. For example, like voting. or like healthcare, financial transactions. So zero knowledge groups have been seeing a really good inflow of capital. One of the recent rounds that happened in January is from New Foundation, which got $22 million funding led by Polychain Capital. So the trend is definitely there. We also have the decentralized oracles. This is another very interesting concept that has been emphasized on in the last 6 months. This is, as you know, oracles are basically what connects the smart contracts to the off-chain data. And being decentralized, it provides further opportunities and access to tons of data. And there's obviously already companies that are in this sector. For example, Chainlink, probably all of you know Chainlink, has been in the industry for a while, and it provides solutions, oracles, based on, I think, Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, Polygon. But here we're looking to find solutions to also new networks and something that just solves it out. And maybe even if we look at Chainlink, it's a 10 billion market cap company. If you're an early stage VC, you probably want to catch that trend in the very, very first days and months. We have also the real world assets. And here I want to emphasize that this is not, here I'm not talking about tokenization, because I think that tokenization of real world assets is very popular. It was popular a few years back, but then due to the regulatory constraints was not actually possible. But right now I think that there is more and more work looking into that space. And we're seeing the digitalization of actual assets. So this can actually be anything. It can be a bond, it can be a stock, it can be a fund, or it can be real estate, which is the favorite probably of Dubai residents. Here there is, as you probably know, if you're living here, real estate is one of the biggest sectors. And we actually, UAE and MR was one of the first companies to first tokenize an apartment, if I'm not wrong, I think a few years back. But here we are talking about way more advanced solutions nowadays. So that's something that I'm seeing everybody talking about. There are a lot of research reports on it, and I see it in our partners' deal flow. Then we have the cross-chain operability. This is also something that has probably been there for a while. You probably all know or use Cosmos. But here we are looking for a solution for all chains, a kind of once and for all solution. So maybe to explain simply cross-chain operability, I can give you an example with MetaMask. So let's do a small poll here. Can you tell me how many of you are using MetaMask? Can you show me a hand? Just 3 people in the room are using MetaMask. Wow, and you're at a crypto conference? Great. So in MetaMask, what you're basically doing is that you have different networks. And to move your assets from one network to another, let's say you want to move, you have USDT and you want to buy something on PancakeSwap, and then you have your funds on Ethereum network. Then actually it's quite a procedure to bridge that and then go again to exchange and buy it. So basically that's the cross-chain interoperability that I'm talking about. So these are the trends that we have been seeing in the space. And maybe 2 things that I want to also mention, since we are based in the UAE, and here is a really, really big market, and a lot have been achieved in the past few years. So it's really worth mentioning. When I was talking earlier about the funds, I mentioned Binance raising $500 million. But here in the UAE, we just launched, it's just at the beginning of the year, and already we got 2 funds launching for a total value of $3 billion. So the first one was the one from Venom Foundation in collaboration with Swissborg Capital. They launched a $1 billion fund to invest into startups that can help develop the network. And then another one just recently launched is by Hub 71, and it's funded actually by the government, which just shows you how much the government is committed to develop the space and provide a nice ecosystem for everybody to build. And now coming to the second point, we already have a very well-established space where a lot of companies are building. Currently we have 1,650 Web3 organizations that are based out of Dubai. That's really impressive. And this happened probably in the last 2 years only. And there are many reasons for that, but one of the most prominent, I think, is the regulatory environment. UAE was one of the first ones, again, as a country to provide a complete regulatory framework for web trade. And it is called VARA, and currently, anywhere in the UAE, in different jurisdictions, you can get a crypto license based on your company. And that's, as you know, especially for me, regulation is something very important. I don't believe that you can really develop a market or you can have institutional adoption with lack of regulation. And the last one, probably if you're a startup, I think that being in the UAE is an incredible opportunity, because not just because of the sunny weather and not just because of the nice environment that they created today, but also because UAE is one of the most funded spaces in the MENA region. So if you're a startup here, there are tons of programs like there are accelerators, there are funds, and those opportunities to get funded. And last one. And so that's actually all from me today. Thank you so much for listening. And we, like the final sentence, as I gave in the summary, a lot is happening in the region, a lot is happening in the Web3 business space, and we're very excited for it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Paula, for your deep dive into the investment themes of 2023. Your detailed analysis and expert intellect was absolutely riveting.